Welcome, everybody. I'm Belinda Sandor. Welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. Let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm thrilled you're here. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'm Belinda Sandor. I am the founder of the VA Connection, where I coach and mentor established and aspiring virtual assistants to create, grow, and scale the business of their dreams. And I work with my students in my free online community, courses, and coaching programs. And today I'm going to be your host for Lessons from the Cockpit, which is my weekly live stream show here every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. So welcome. I'd love to hear where you're coming in from. So let me know in the comments. We are streaming on our Facebook business page, on LinkedIn, and YouTube. So let me know where you're coming in from. And if you're streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified every time we go live. All right, good. So I want to talk today about a very special word, the word no. And I want to talk about why it's so powerful and why it opens up so many doors for us, even though we've been socialized and conditioned to think just the opposite. All right. So before we dive in, I'm going to introduce myself, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and just put them right in, and so that I can see them. Okay. Good. So this is my daughter and I in 2010 when I was starting my business, and I was in a very tumultuous is probably a really good word to use, point in my life where everything was sort of up for grabs. I was getting divorced. I was closing a business that was unsuccessful. I was moving out of my apartment. I was trying to save the business and take care of my life. So I racked up a whole bunch of credit card debt and had to sell my house to move on, and just so many things. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I had to make some serious changes in my life. And I knew that I did know that having a traditional job wasn't going to cut it. I had been in corporate for 17 years prior to starting my own business, and I loved it. I thought corporate was great, but I also worked all day, 24/7 practically, and was really consumed by it. And I knew that I didn't want that now that I was a mother. I left corporate when I became a mom and tried to go out on my own. And the thing was that I knew the job wasn't going to work, but I didn't know what to do. So I decided to go back to my roots. I decided back in the dark ages, I was a secretary, and I wanted to go back and do admin work for entrepreneurs and small business owners. So I started spreading the word. I started telling everybody I know, and that's the best way to get clients, is to tell everybody you know. And I got my first client at the school bus stop, talking to the dads, hanging out. He says, "What's new?" And I say, "Well, I'm starting this business." And he told me that he had started a business. He was drowning in administrative details, and he hired me, and we started working together. And I have many stories about how I met people, and we decided to work together, and how the business grew over time. So if you're prospecting, I want you to just, to stop trying to figure out who needs a VA and convince them that they do. I want you to just really lean into telling everyone you know. So this is what happened. I continue to tell everyone I know in a series, in a series of ways. Something I call stay in touch emails, also email newsletters. All of this I teach you in my free upcoming training. We're starting on May 13th, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But just know that I'll absolutely help you get started. So like I said, I started my business in 2010. I've billed over 20,000 hours as a virtual assistant. I've worked with over 200 clients and earned over $1 million. The first year I was in business, I earned, or created really, $70,000. And for the next 10 years, I created $100,000 or more a year. And I did that using the systems and methods that I teach in my online classroom here at the VA Connection. All right. And I would love to teach you too. Whoops, hold on, wrong way. And fast forward. So here I am in 2021 getting married to the most amazing man. These are his 4 boys, my stepsons, and my daughter, Emily. And this is us on our wedding day. And so many things have changed now. I'm not chasing minimum payments on my credit cards. I had a whole thing with back taxes. That's all taken care of. So many things that were really running the show for me, I took charge of and turned them around. And so I got to tell you, if I can marry the man of my dreams on my 60th birthday, it's not too late for you. It's not too late for you. And this is the newest adventure that we're on. This is a home that we purchased in January, late January. We're moving in now. We're in the stage where I'm taking the glasses out of, I'm going to do this today, taking the glasses out of the boxes and putting them in the china cabinet. It's like there's books all over the floor. It's crazy, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And it's been a real lesson for me about the whole concept of, incremental change, because, you want to move in and you want to have it done within 2 days. And the truth is that it just takes time. And it's the same thing with the business. You build your website. Okay. You work on your LinkedIn, you this, you that, there's all these things. And it's really a growing and evolving thing, having a business. So I hope you can lean into that and enjoy it instead of fighting it every step of the way, which I know I've done in the past. But it's much nicer when we accept how it really works, right? A little bit over time. So I want to talk about this whole concept of saying no. So here's the thing. In 2023, I realized in January that I was running around a lot. I was getting to be over capacity, which I'm somebody who really moves at the speed of sound the whole time I'm awake. And so for me to be pushed and feeling overwhelmed, it was like, okay, so what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about this? And what I decided to do was start to say no. I got really clear that my priority was my family and the VA connection and the chickens. And so if people were making requests of my time outside of the supporting those 3 things, chickens, the VA connection, and my Rocket Girl clients as well. But that's really, that's become a smaller attention. What do I want to say? It takes it takes way less of my attention than the VA connection does. And my family, that I would say no. So I would put everything through that filter. And so there was an organization that I used to speak for on a regular basis. Like every month I would go to their facility. It was just down the road, and I would speak on various topics. I would teach about how to clean out your email inbox, why it's important to take credit cards, all the things that I teach in this community and in VA school, but I would teach it to entrepreneurs. And one day I got a request and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do general education anymore. I'm going to lean into the VA connection even harder. And so what I did was I crafted 2 talks: Is being a virtual assistant for you? And how to effectively work with a virtual assistant. And those are my talks. And so anyone who wants me to speak on those topics, I am all in anytime, practically day or night. I'm your girl. And what happened was, the people who asked me to speak, some of them went away because that didn't suit their needs, and that was 100% fine. And then others said, yes, absolutely. You speak on that topic. And so what happened is, it allowed me to be generous in a way that I can really help people. I mean, me going in and talking for an hour on how to clean out your email inbox, while that's valuable, it's much more important for me to speak on is being a virtual assistant for you, because that can transform someone's life, right? It can take someone who doesn't know what they want to do and help them to create something much bigger to support their family and their beliefs. And for entrepreneurs who want to grow their business and they think it's their email inbox, I can tell them you need a virtual assistant, right? If your inbox is overrun, that's a sign that you need a virtual assistant. And I can talk to them about how to delegate, how to find a virtual assistant, all the different things. And so by narrowing what I say yes to and increasing what I say no to, I'm able to make a much bigger impact. I'm able to make a much bigger impact. And so the thing is that at first it feels selfish. At first it feels selfish when you say no, like, oh, I'm putting my needs before someone else. This doesn't feel good. But if you think about it, it's more you're dialing, and I never use this phrase, but it seems appropriate right now. You're dialing into your zone of genius, right? My zone of genius is helping people to create successful businesses and helping people to some extent work with virtual assistants, right? Through the experience that I had through those 20,000 billable hours. And so by zoning in on that, I can give in a much bigger way. Now, the other thing about saying no is it can be a later no. Like, for example, um, Greg and I are going to hang a light fixture today. It's probably going to take 15 or 20 minutes. The wiring's already there. We're just swapping a light fixture out. No big deal. If he were to come to me 15 minutes ago while I was preparing to talk to you, that's not a good time. So I would say to him, I can't right now. How about at lunch? How about at 5 o'clock? How about at 6:30 tonight when I get back from my walk? There's so many ways to say not now, right? But you have to get clear on what your priorities are. And it's not just something that, you wake up one day and it's like, okay, I have it all figured out. You do have to observe yourself. You have to watch yourself. You have to think about what's important and then line it up. Because the thing is that starting a business or running a successful virtual assistant business, you can't take the full life you already had and just jam it in there. It doesn't work like that. It needs attention. It needs nurturing. It needs all the things, that any successful endeavor requires. So what you're going to need to do is think about, what are you going to say no to? And that could be no longer folding your underwear. It could be we use cloth napkins. This is a preference of mine. And so maybe buying the cloth napkins you don't have to iron, right? There's little things, doing the laundry every 2 weeks instead of every week. Just the ways that you can say no and streamline your life so that you can have what you want. So I want you to think about that, because if you're trying to take a new business or even an existing business that's not as successful as you want, and you're trying to jam it into, and that's really what it is, jamming it into, like, kind of get a picture of that, jamming it into your regular life, it's not going to happen. You're going to have to rearrange your schedule, rearrange your thought process, and really make sure that you create a space for that. Okay. Yeah. So, a lot of times things get in the way because, we have goals and we're afraid of succeeding. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of so many things, and you have to stop listening to that fear so that what you want has the chance to grow. And saying no is a really great way to do that. Okay, good. All right. So try it out, see what happens. People might not like it right away. You might not like it right away, but slow and steady, and really think about what you can take out of your life that's not necessary anymore, and what you really want to lean into. Okay, good. Now, if you would like my help starting a business as a virtual assistant, we have a training that is starting on May 13th. Mark your calendars, May 13th. Head over to vakickstart.com where you can sign up and learn more. We have a pop-up Facebook group. We have a resources page. We have all kinds of information about how you can begin your business, whether you're starting from scratch. We really start at the top. And if you've been in business for a while and you're not getting the traction that you want, you likely just missed something. So let me fill in the gap for you so that you can keep moving forward. All right, good. Good, good, good. Thank you for coming today. I appreciate your time and your attention. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you at the VA Connection. Bye for now.